taxpayer expense, by the way. She lied about working at McDonald's. She never worked at McDonald's. On top of all this, in conclusion, take a look. She wants to turn our military woke. I don't think that's happening. Go ahead.
His crowds are evaporating. His polls are evaporating. Weak, weak, weak Donald Trump. That's exactly what you are. The new Detroit News, Glenn Gariff, Michigan poll has Donald Trump down 3. Used to be up 1 in that same poll. And now we're also seeing a lot of undecided Puerto Rican voters, even some who were supporting Donald Trump, taking to social media, to TikTok, to X, to whatever, saying that they are supporting Vice President Kamala Harris, as Donald Trump has fully gone mask off, supporting people who have called Puerto Rico a floating piece of garbage. Donald Trump continuing to attack the Latino community over and over again, talking about bloody mass deportation exercises. Folks, the comments of undecideds, even former Trump voters, are flowing in. One of the things that we've seen here, this article from Politico, Trump's Puerto Rico fallout is spreading like wildfire. A Puerto Rican Trump supporter, for example, in this article that's highlighted, is now out there as the biggest anti-Trumper, telling everybody in the community, if you have respect for yourself, you cannot vote for the guy who's platforming people calling Puerto Ricans garbage. The Archbishop of Puerto Rico put out an open letter demanding Donald Trump immediately personally apologize, which we know Donald Trump would never do. We're also learning that in the speeches that were given, the same person who made that comment about Puerto Ricans, he was going to call Vice President Kamala Harris the C word. And that part was removed, not because the Trump campaign wanted it gone or thought it was inappropriate. They wanted to use the language and they wanted to call her the C word. However, they wanted Elon Musk's Political Action Committee to call her the C word. Just think about it. And you may go, whoa, Ben, what are you talking about? Here's the PAC that Elon Musk has platformed and given all that money to, that's working hand in glove with Donald Trump. Here's their ad. America really can't afford a C word in the White House right now. Kamala Harris is a C word. That's what the ad actually says. And it says that next to a photo of Vice President Kamala Harris as Hawaii Delilah. By the way, I think she does great work. What she says, she goes, this is really vulgar. There was a time when such an ad would tank a campaign, but there is no bottom anymore. It's hard to end this filth. Vote Harris and vote hard. But by the way, I think Americans are picking it up now, but the irony is it's happening with the final stretch. And now we have these Trump voters as well who are putting the nail in Donald Trump's coffin in that final stretch. They're out there making these videos of, we've been highlighting these stories, right? From watching this network for what, 3.5, 4 years? And what were we saying back 3.5 years ago? We said there is a realignment in American politics right now. There's no longer Democrats v. Republicans, because Trump ain't a Republican. Trump is MAGA. You want to call them the MAGA Republicans. They're not the classic Republicans. So there's the Trump MAGA cult. And there's millions of Americans who are into that. It's shocking. It's depraved. We see their valuelessness. We see it. But then there's this beautiful, vibrant, pro-democracy community that you're a part of, that I'm a part of. And this is progressives, liberals, Democrats, classic Republicans, independents. We're all joined together because most importantly, we care about facts, evidence, intelligence, democracy, compassion, empathy, freedoms. We want to protect women's rights. We want to protect the rights of others. We don't punch down on marginalized communities. We try to lift up people. We support equal rights. We protect our veterans. We support our troops. We don't call them suckers and losers, like Donald Trump and the MAGA repeatedly call our troops suckers and losers. They say they want to kill Our generals, they say they want to round up people in bloody mass deportation exercises and put them in operations and put them in concentration camps. We don't support that. We condemn that. We'll stand up for our freedoms. We love our Constitution. We love our flag. We love our national anthem. Donald Trump puts his name on the American flag. They don't sing the national anthem at Trump events. You know what they sing, right? The January 6th insurrection anthem. The J6th choir. That's actually, I've played those clips where they go, please rise for the J6 choir, the unfairly treated hostages. Screw that. We saw what happened on January 6th. Donald Trump wants to be a dictator on day one. He says that. Let's highlight your stories, the stories of Republicans who have used to support Trump. They voted for him once, twice, some of these people. And now they're coming out with videos saying, nope. And we're encouraging friends, family, coworkers to make sure that dictator not just loses, but is freaking embarrassed, is humiliated, looks like a little fool on election day, is trampled like the little fool that he is. Here's Bob, an ex-Trump voter, on why he's voting for Vice President Kamala Harris. Let's play it.
I gave 2 years of my life to serve this country. Reasons, and I'm happy I did. Am I a loser or a sucker because I did that? No. I'm Bob. I live in Western New York, and I'm a former Trump voter. I will never vote for Trump again. Most dangerous to me is Trump's belief in being a dictator for a day. And what would I read from Project 25? It seems to me that that day is going to be a lot longer than a day. We're probably talking at least 4 years. America was founded by people that believe in democracy. Donald Trump does not believe in democracy. I want people to understand how important this election is for not only my generation, but my children, my grandchildren. I want people to understand, especially as a veteran, what these candidates bring to the table. We have Donald Trump calling dead veterans not worthy of a Congressional Medal of Honor because they're dead. I mean, seriously? I gave 2 years of my life to serve this country. Reasons, and I'm happy I did. Am I a loser or a sucker because I did that? No. We should all serve this country, either in the military or Peace Corps or something else. Donald Trump serves only Donald Trump. And that to me is just the most un-American thing I can think of. The question before us is really quite simple. Do we believe in America and stand with America and our American neighbors and friends, or do we not believe in America and do we just simply look out for ourselves and the hell with everybody else? I'm a pretty peaceful and joyful and kind person. I'm voting for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
Now here's Kurt, a former Trump voter from Arizona, who's supporting Kamala Harris this year. Let's play it.
Trump should not be in any leadership position at all. He should not be the president of the United States. He's morally and ethically corrupt. Hi, I'm Kurt from Arizona. I voted for Trump in 2016. I do not plan to ever vote for Trump again. Once he got in office, his behavior really concerned me. A lot of things he did were unethical, unprofessional. And the more you listened and read and tried to understand, the more negative feelings that I had. If you take that culmination to the end of his term with January 6th, when Trump was urging the vice president to not let the certification go through, but our vice president actually followed the law. So Vice President Pence did what he was supposed to do. And then you see things on TV where they're saying, hang Pence, hang Pence. Trump called to bear these radical groups to organize. Trump caused every bit of that. Trump's personal attacks have been a concern for me. The core values of a good leader to inspire people, not to degrade them. Trump should not be in any leadership position at all. He should not be the president of the United States. He's morally and ethically corrupt. The transition when Biden decided to step back and Kamala step forward, I think was a good choice because she's a very strong, capable candidate. I think she would be good for America. I think she is the better choice as a president for the United States, and that's the way I'm going to vote.
Here's Kevin, a former Trump voter from Arizona.
I do not believe he is a fit representative of the values and traditions we hold dear. So for those reasons, I cannot support Donald Trump in 2024. My name is Kevin. I am a former Trump voter. And the more I saw of Donald Trump, the more I came to realize my vote was a mistake, and he was not the man to be president then, and he's certainly not the man to be president now. He has no empathy for others. He's in it for Donald Trump, not for any U.S. citizen. He wants power. He wants ego, and Donald Trump will do anything to get it. And when I look at the fact that he's a convicted felon, that he's committed fraud, certainly sexual harassment, keeping secret documents in Mar-a-Lago, I cannot support a man who does that. He acts like a petulant child who is having a continuous temper tantrum. The insults Donald Trump throws out, the mocking that he does of others, including veterans and the disabled. His temperament is not one which I want to see in the White House, and I do not believe he is a fit representative of the values and traditions we hold dear. So for those reasons, I cannot support Donald Trump in 2024. I am going to vote for Kamala Harris. I believe she has the experience in running government, which Donald Trump did not have. It's not a vote against Trump so much as it is a vote of confidence in her that she will do what is right for our country over the next 4 years.
Here's Tom, a former Trump voter. Let's play it.
Trump talks about America first, but every time he opens his mouth and says these kind of things praising authoritarianism, it sends shockwaves around the world, and it actually creates an environment of America alone. I'm Tom, and I'm a registered voter in the state of Nevada. However, I'm currently here in Tokyo, Japan. I voted for Trump in 2016, and this year I'll be voting for Kamala Harris. Being overseas, we're always impacted by whatever a president says. And comments such as, I'll be a dictator on day one, even if it's just one day, or Kim Jong-un gets along with me, or I like Putin because he's a strong character, or Orban is strong. These all have very negative impacts upon our alliances abroad. So the irony is that Trump talks about America first, but every time he opens his mouth and says these kind of things praising authoritarianism, it sends shockwaves around the world, and it actually creates an environment of America alone. So my vote is really a tactical vote. And not only is it a tactical vote to stop Trump, it's also a tactical vote to restructure the Republican Party to help return it, perhaps, to its original roots. And then we can have those policy decisions and arguments with the Democrats in a civil matter, and our ideas will prevail. But for the time being, we have to put out the kitchen fire that we currently have, rather than arguing about what's on the menu for dinner.
By the way, I should have said this at the beginning, but let me say it now. The Republican Voters Against Trump organization, they're a group of patriots. They're a group of heroes. They're doing incredible work by documenting these stories. Here's Richard, an ex-Trump voter from Georgia. Let's play it.
When you think about who to vote for, don't vote for Donald Trump. He is untrustworthy. You cannot trust anything that he says. He keeps lying. My name is Richard. I live in Georgia, and I voted for Donald Trump in 2016. But frankly, because of Donald Trump and his cronies, I cannot consider myself a Republican any longer. He's destroyed the Republican Party. I'd be embarrassed to be associated with it. And I'm supporting Kamala Harris because she, even though I may not agree with all of her policies, she's going to be a heck of a lot better than Donald Trump in the White House for another term. I think it's incredible that we're even considering a felon, 34 counts against him, when felons in many states can't even vote. And here we are considering a felon for the presidency of the United States and the leader of the free world. It's just horrible. It's embarrassing that we as a country are even considering a person such as Donald Trump to be our leader. Donald Trump is certainly responsible for January 6th. He was out there rallying up his supporters. It's incredible to even now that he would say that, oh, I didn't mean that. When you think about who to vote for, don't vote for Donald Trump. He is untrustworthy. You cannot trust anything that he says. He keeps lying. That's not somebody that we want to have representing us in our country or in the world.
Let's take a look at this next story. Let's play it.
I don't know whether or not he's actually going to follow 2025. I don't really want to roll the dice on that one. Under no circumstances will I ever vote for Donald J. Trump again. My name is Tim. I live in Pennsylvania. I voted for Trump in 2016 as well as 2020. January 6th, in my opinion, was a tipping point. He incited an insurrection and violated his oath that he took on the Constitution. And I think the most dangerous portion of a secondary Trump term would be Project 2025. I mean, all you have to do is read probably the first 10 or 15 pages of that and know exactly the way that he would govern under a second term. I don't know whether or not he's actually going to follow 2025. I don't really want to roll the dice on that one. I am going to be voting for Kamala Harris in 2024. Under no circumstances will I ever vote for Donald J. Trump again.
And here's Ryan, an ex-Trump voter. Let's play it.
Most Americans are more qualified than Donald Trump because most people who vote aren't felons, and he's a felon. That's huge evidence why you should never vote for Donald Trump again. My name is Ryan. I voted for Donald Trump in 2020. I will not be supporting or voting for Donald Trump this year in 2024. The reasons are so endless of why not to support someone like Donald Trump. It's a very pivotal and critical time in our nation's history that there's never been more divisiveness, and it's been going on 8 years now. And I just think it's horrible for our country. And I completely agree with President Biden that the Democrats are coming together to save democracy. And it's not just Democrats, it's registered Republicans. It's Republican leaders. The mayor of Mesa, Arizona is supporting Kamala Harris this election cycle. His whole playbook is divide people, say controversial things, demean people, put them down, insult them. On the one side with the Democrats, you have Vice President Kamala Harris, who's been a former prosecutor. She was the district attorney of California, and then she became vice president. Look at her credentials versus Donald Trump's. Donald Trump was never elected to anything up until 2016. He never held office for anything. Just common sense in the fact that most Americans are more qualified than Donald Trump because most people who vote aren't felons, and he's a felon. That's huge evidence why you should never vote for Donald Trump again.
Here right now is the front page of Drudge. It's Donald Trump in a mental institution. And it says, they're eating the Puerto Ricans. And it's a photo of Donald Trump. Let me share this with you folks, if I may. While I was recording this video, I got this text message from Shane. Hi, Benjamin, I'm Shane, a volunteer with Team Kamala. Do you know people in Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, or Wisconsin? With only 8 days until the election, it's never been more important to talk with our friends and family about electing Kamala and Tim. We have trainings every day. When is the best for you? And I said, I think I have some friends. I think I have a few. About 3.3 million. They're called the Meidas Mighty. So, friends, here's the website. You can go to it right now. We'll tell Shane, great work, Shane. You've now got in front of 3.3 million people. So everybody go to events.democrats.org. Sign up for the events you want to sign up for. You see right here. Do the trainings you want to do. Events.democrats.org. You see it right there. Great work, Shane. You just got in front of 3.3 million. Meidas Mighty. One more time, events.democrats.org. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.